Academy of Art University's K-Art News is coming up next. A new way to get a ride on a Muni just using your smartphone.
The inside story on the crab danger here in Northern California.
An uproar over the fees for one of the most popular social networking tools.
And a feel-good story that may make you smile and want to help out someone. All that and more coming up. K-Art News is next.
Hello there. Thanks for joining Academy of Art University's K-Art News. I'm Kana Field.
And I'm Nathan Goodall. Here's what we're working on. It could get easier to catch a ride on San Francisco's Muni. Muni Mobile is a new app designed to give people an easier way to purchase tickets for the transit system. Muni officials are hoping that offering a way to self-purchase tickets will cut down on lines at fare boxes and ticket machines. You can use credit, debit card, or PayPal to purchase tickets through the app. Riders can then present the virtual ticket shown on their screen of their phone to get on the bus. The app is still in its testing phase, with many looking forward to using it. You can get tickets for Muni's buses, streetcars, and cable cars with the app.
A move to help save wear and tear on cable cars is also helping to keep pedestrians safe. K-Art reporter Jacob Green has details.
Powell Street between Ellis and Geary have been converted to red, and new signs warn drivers where they can and can't go for the next 18 months. The reason for this closure is the Powell Street Safety and Sidewalk Improvement Project. This project's goal is to improve the pedestrian safety on the 2 blocks just south of Union Square. According to the San Francisco Municipal Transportation System, more than 4,000 people walk up and down the streets of Powell every hour during peak times. This project also helps protect the cable car's cables from fraying. Alonzo tells us more about the cable car system.
And the cable car, it's usually tourists. You got some locals want to ride. It's a cable underneath the ground that's moving 9.5 miles per hour. Here's a brake. 4 pieces of wood on the tracks to help us slow down. And I got a wheel brake right here that I stand on. I got 70% of the brake. He got 30%. He got a hand brake in the back for the back wheels.
Today, the cable's lifespan is reduced by 25% and has to be changed every 30 days, and not every 50 days like in 2000. By limiting the number of vehicles, the SFMTA hopes the cables will last longer and will have to be changed less frequently. But Alonzo does not like how only a couple of blocks are closed down.
No, just for 2 blocks, no, it don't help us. They think it's helping us, but it's not. They think it's gonna help, preserve the cable, but I don't think so. Just for 2 blocks, it's not helping. Now, all the way up Powell, maybe it will, but not for just 2 blocks.
According to the SFMTA, commercial and passenger loading and unloading will still be allowed here on Powell Street, but through traffic will not be allowed anymore to give cable cars better access through the street. In San Francisco, I'm Jacob Green, reporting for Academy of Arts K-Art News.
For the next 3 weeks, if drivers are caught going where they are not supposed to go, they will receive a warning. After that, they could get a moving violation citation. Rumor has it that the Super Bowl committee is trying to take down the overhead wires from the Muni while Super Bowl visitors are in town. SF Supervisor Jane Kim confirmed knowledge of a proposal to remove wires on Market Street. Advocates are concerned that the wires will get in the way during installation of the amusement area Game Village, where there isn't an exact estimate, but we're hearing it will be around 7 figures to do all this.
Well, investigators are looking into brake failure as a possible cause of last week's terrifying sightseeing bus crash. It happened Friday in the Union Square area when the bus went out of control for a block, hitting vehicles before coming to a stop. About 20 people were injured in the crash and 5 of them remain hospitalized. Monday in San Francisco General Hospital. 3 were in critical condition and 2 were listed as serious. Spectators waiting to watch the explosion of the Old Bay Bridge might have been disappointed since it could only be seen for 10 seconds above the water. The demolition took place early Saturday morning when both sea and vehicle traffic were light. Below the water is where all of the action took place. BART was shut down through the Transbay tube for about 7 minutes, then began running shortly after. This project cost $20 million, and so far it seems as if everything has gone according to plan. But it could take weeks to survey the effects on air quality and wildlife.
A mysterious killer is lurking the Pacific Ocean and threatening lots of jobs. Carrot News reporter Brett Ademi has the story.
Due to warmer temperature, a toxic algae in Northern California oceans is shutting down crab season. According to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, this $60 million commercial crab season is shut down indefinitely. Local commercial fisherman John Barnett, coming back from fishing on his boat, tells us about the problem.
So every 2 weeks, the Department of Fish and Game and the FDA, they issue a test. We kind of take turns doing it. It was our turn to do it. We went out there, we caught 6 crabs in 3 different areas, and they get frozen and taken over to Richmond facility they have there, along with crabs that they're doing the same thing with in Bodega Bay and in Half Moon Bay. I believe Monterey, but I only know those 3 ports for sure. And that's how we're getting our level tests.
I'm here on a pier in San Francisco where commercial fishing is usually very popular this time of year due to Thanksgiving and Christmas. Behind me is just some of the crab traps here on the pier, and right now they're unable to be used since the crabs are unable to be fished for.
We depend on the time of the year, this season of crab fishing, to bring in income, and if you plan on it, then when you don't have it, it slows it down, and everybody from the fish markets to the fish buyers to the crab stands to the fishermen.
Domoic acid, which is found in the crabs after they eat the algae, at high levels if consumed can cause nausea, dizziness, memory loss, and even death.
So all the crabs we get now are coming from Washington. So when our season usually starts, Washington and Alaska closes. This year, one of them is going to stay open. It's either Washington or Alaska. So all the crabs we get are from Washington and Alaska. So it's going to be really safe. But the only problem will be the price, because they are all hep to what's going on right now, and they're going to raise the price. Already it's gone up $2 a pound. So that's the only problem it's going to be. As far as our traditional thing, as far as Thanksgiving and all that, all the locals come down here. They wait all year to get the local crab. Well, this year they're not going to get it. So as far as they're not coming, will affect our business.
The algae is said to have reached at least 40 miles wide. Local fishermen say the water temperatures are finally dropping and are eager to get the traps in the water. In San Francisco, I'm Brett Adami with Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
Crab season will remain shut down until the tests show a decreased level of neurotoxin. Dungeness crabs may not be the only sea life affected by the toxic algae. Officials from the Department of Fish and Wildlife are saying that the algae may affect other marine animals as well. The higher water temperatures, as well as the toxicity of the waters, are affecting the oceans. The National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration says that people must cut down carbon emissions to decrease the temperatures these warming waters. Things are back to normal in Danville again after a coyote scare. The wild coyote scares customers at a Safeway in Danville. The coyote had casually entered through the back entrance, which is only accessible by employees. It was found behind the counter of the seafood section, according to the police. Animal control was contacted to capture the coyote and to set it free. No injuries or damages were reported.
As more details emerge about the terrorist attacks in Paris over the weekend, people around the world are showing their solidarity. In San Francisco, hundreds gathered in front of the Civic Center on Sunday to pay their tribute. The French consulate in San Francisco has become a place of mourning and grieving for the people in the area. San Francisco is a sister city of Paris, and the Civic Center remains a place of solace for anybody affected by the atrocities. Now, among those killed in Paris was 23-year-old Cal State Long Beach student Noemi Gonzalez. She is the only known American who died in the terrorist attack on Friday. She was described as a very gifted student. Hundreds gathered for a vigil held at Cal State Long Beach. As a result of the Paris attacks, Facebook activated its safety tool. The tool detects if you're in Paris based on the current city on your profile or location of your internet connection. People also can visit this page to quickly see if a friend in Paris has checked in. There are many thankful for the feature after the Paris attacks, but others pointed out the feature had not been turned on for other recent violent acts, notably in Beirut.
Because California hasn't voted for a Republican presidential nomination since 1988, the demographic parameters have, in a sense, become time to choose a candidate. Our James O'Malley went to find out what is going on for the voters.
There are few things more quintessentially San Francisco than a gathering of young people getting together to eat gourmet food from automobiles and watch an all-liberal debate. So for those who are either ready for Hillary or feeling the burn, as well as the pangs of hunger, the Soma Food Truck Park was the perfect place to come take in the second Democratic presidential debate. Although it fell just one night after the Paris terrorist attacks, foreign policy barely registered as a concern to the young voters I spoke to. But if battling ISIS and policing the Middle East weren't issues that they really cared about, exactly what were?
I think student debt is a huge one. Like, there's no way that people my age can build the kind of wealth that you're supposed to have a house and all that sort of thing if you have to pay outrageous interest rates on money that you borrowed just to get a job.
College education is certainly one. I would say that the incarceration rate and the inequality, the economic inequality.
Most of those in attendance seem to be supporting Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, whose non-super PAC grassroots campaign and socialist principles have made him very popular with progressive millennials.
Well, for one, it's funny, he's like a career politician, but he doesn't sound necessarily like a politician. He's not afraid to say what he wants. I think young people like that.
While Bernie Sanders seems to have captured the imagination of the younger members of the party, poll numbers show former First Lady and Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton still holding a commanding 20-point lead in the national polls. With the first primaries now just 2.5 months away, these debates are the candidates' last real opportunities to convince voters that they belong on next November's ballot. One thing that was obvious from watching the debate around all these people was that no one really disagreed with anything any of the candidates were saying. There were just some things that they agreed with a little bit more. Would Sanders supporters switch their allegiances to Hillary should she win this time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
In San Francisco, I'm James O'Malley for the Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
The first demographic primary is scheduled for February 1st in Iowa. Californians is slated for the 7th of June.
To all the Snapchatters out there who like to use fun lenses on their videos and pictures, we have some news that might freak you out. Our reporter, Lada Kondrakina, will tell you all about it.
Recently, Snapchat announced that they are now going to charge its users for each lens that the app provides instead of giving them for free. According to Martin Wilborn Partners Agency, Snapchat is now the third most popular social network in the world and values at more than $10 billion. The whole idea of sending either a photo or a video to a friend, which will then vanish 10 seconds later after being seen, attracted quite a large audience. But that doesn't stop the upset users from expressing their feelings regarding the matter on Twitter.
Looks like everyone is pretty mad about the fact that you have to now pay $1 to use each lens on Snapchat. And what's even stranger is that Snapchat retweets the angry reviews on their page and they don't explain why.
The majority of people who use this app are teenagers and young adults. Elijah Iloriaga is a frequent user of Snapchat and says that he uses it more than any other social network.
I use Snapchat more than text message. I use Snapchat more than Facebook. I use Snapchat more than calling, in fact. All the features on Snapchat I can use for anything as long as someone has the app itself. So the fact that they will cost more to do certain activities, that's a shame. I probably will be using it less, at least in consideration to those activities themselves.
I never really use the filters. I don't really like them, but the fact that they are now charging them for people seems kind of pointless since they were originally free.
For some people, the news of being charged for certain features that Snapchat provides doesn't seem like a big deal after all. In San Francisco, I'm Lada Kondrakina for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
The Snapchat app can be downloaded for both Android and Apple products completely free. Now let's toss it to Lada and her special guest who recently created a new app, which is unique and quite different from what you may expect.
Thank you guys. So I'm here today with Daniel Shikulin, and how are you today?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
That's great. So I heard that there's this app you've been working on. Could you please tell me more about it?
Yeah, of course. The app called Canvas, and it aims to create animated drawings by recording the process of drawing with our app. So you get a card and a regular pen or any other tool that you want, and just draw. And while you're drawing, you record it with the app, and the app removes hand and pencil or any other tool, and it gives you animation. So it is just a gradually appearing drawing that you did.
That's pretty cool. And how did you come up with the idea?
My boss was the one who came up with the idea, and he was working a lot with digital pens, and also he communicated a lot with Persians, and he found out that they can't really do calligraphy with digital pens. So he thought it would be cool if they could make digital calligraphy without using any special tools. And then we found out that we can apply this technology to postcards.
Mm-hmm. I see. And do you plan to make money off this app in any way?
Yeah. It's a tricky part, but I'll try to explain. The cards are free, and the app is free, but this card is unique because of the QR tag that it has. And it allows us to prevent users from using this card twice. So we can sell these QR tags to distributors, which can make their own style for the cards and pass them out, distribute them. So why they would benefit from it? When user gets the animation is embedded in a frame with the design of the distributor, so they can add some information about the brand, etc. And so users will advertise these companies when they share with their friends their drawings.
Oh, that's really awesome. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming here.
Yeah.
All right, guys, back to you.
In-N-Out Burger is known for its double doubles, crazy animal fries, and their shakes. But this burger company is suing Bay Area-based DoorDash, a popular delivery service. In-N-Out says that they have no control of the freshness of the food delivered by the service. In-N-Out has asked the delivery service several times to stop, but DoorDash continues to ignore the burger joint as well as the press.
This might be hard to believe, but now some cars are no longer need a human to drive them. This revelation comes as quite a shock to a police officer from Mountain View who pulled over a car for driving too slow. The vehicle was a Google self-driving car and was going 24 miles per hour instead of 35. Google operators then explained that they performed regular tests to see how their cars react to emergency vehicles. The bakery and pastry shop that signed on as partners with Starbucks in the past few years has had a crazy ride in rebuilding this image since the contract was dropped. Tiffany Russell has more about the new beginning.
La Boulange Bakery's bright-colored awnings have been a fixture in San Francisco since 1996, and due to not only the best locations, but downright buttery French pastries and baked goods, La Boulange caught the eye of Starbucks in 2012. After having a short-lived partnership with Starbucks, La Boulange had to close all existing stores, but now it's back due to public demand.
I'm standing next to what used to be La Boulange's old bakery, but due to a conflict with Starbucks, they aren't able to open it back up. But thanks to Pascal Rigo, the owner and the chef of La Boulange Bakery, they're able to open back up on Union Street.
There were many rumors flying around about Starbucks as well as La Boulange about what really happened with their contract, but the opening of the new La Boulange Bakery on Union Street has made loyal customers such as Lucy Tsai come back for their delicious food, baked items, and beverages.
I'm really happy that this place is open again, and I've been there so many times.
Many of the former Starbucks-owned La Boulange bakeries have been hiring the bakery's employees. While some take the job with Starbucks, others become unemployed. But employee Garrick Sather is loving the direction that the new La Boulange is taking.
Employees are happier, the customers are happier, everything's better when it's not owned by Starbucks.
Pascal Rigo hopes to buy back some buildings in San Francisco for a reasonable price. While Starbucks is still fighting them about the location, everyone seems very hopeful.
And even though this is only one tiny step, I really hope that our owner is able to buy back more of the buildings so that La Boulange can keep that authenticity that it's always had.
In San Francisco, I'm Tiffany Russell for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
Original baker and owner Rigo has stayed quiet about future possibilities, but teases that he is very excited about his potential future plans.
The well-known Marriott International Hotel is buying rival hotel chain Starwood. It includes the Sheraton, Westin W, and St. Regis, and costs just over $12 billion. Now, if the deal is completed, the Marriott will own more than 5,500 hotels, with more than 1 million rooms around the world, making it the largest hotel chain around the world. No Black Friday, says some stores, and some people seem not to be bothered about it. K-Art reporter Dion Jomo has more on the story.
Originating from Philadelphia in the 1960s, Black Friday is a name given to the Friday following Thanksgiving by the Philadelphia police because the day usually brought chaos in the city with increased traffic jam and overcrowded sidewalks. But in the 1980s, the term had spread across different states in the U.S., with stores in Philadelphia and Hudson in Detroit offering good deals. People waited for Black Friday every year. But today, most people, especially the younger generation, do not feel the same way.
I think Black Friday is good for those who are trying to save money, but then again, I think Black Friday shouldn't be allowed because some people take advantage and they fight and argue over.
For the first time since the 1960s, 41 stores, including DSW and IKEA, have announced that they are not taking part in this year's Black Friday sales. According to Tora Kelly, she thinks Black Friday is just overrated.
I feel Black Friday isn't really a big deal because you could save your money, get deals and other things, but at the end of the day, you have to also think about who's going to be after you, who want to fight you, who's going to use a weapon if it escalates to that.
For the past 5 years, stores have recorded a lot of disasters from Black Friday sales. From Walmart stampede to two men at the Toys R Us Black Friday sale shooting each other to death because their wives were fighting over an item. This crazy behavior has made shoppers like Renee take Black Friday out of the list.
I tried to go shopping for Black Friday one year, but I wouldn't do it because last time I got hurt over some shoes, so no, I wouldn't do Black Friday shopping.
With more shoppers not showing interest on Black Friday deals, there is no questioning why some stores recently reported poor sales this holiday season compared to other years. In San Francisco, I'm Dion Jomo for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
Well, if you're not cut out for all the hassles of Black Friday, you can still get good deals on Cyber Monday. The Monday after Thanksgiving, deals continue all the way through the holiday, so no need to put your life on the line. Following loads of leaks and Instagram teasers, Kanye finally released his Yeezy Moonrocks, which is the most popular colorway for a signature sneaker yet. Thousands of people entered raffles all over the world, but only a handful were picked. These shoes have seemed to live up all the hype, and people are paying up to $1,500 to get them in their hands now.
Now let's join Daniel Robinson with our entertainment segment.
Remember those three menacing Hogwarts kids? Well, it's been 14 years since the debut of their first film. That's right, 14 years. Now let's take a look at how these three stars have changed.
Keep an eye on the staircases. They like to change.
Believe it or not, we met Harry, Hermione, and Ron back in 2001, and oh my, how time has gone by. These three stars are on to bigger and better things. Daniel Radcliffe, who starred as Harry Potter, went from a rising star to earning a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Emma Watson, who played Hermione, put down the magic wand and became an activist for women's rights, and she also graduated from Brown University. As for the laid-back character Ron, played by Rupert Grint, he hasn't done much since the last film. San Jose made his debut in the film 33. In 2010, the San Jose copper and gold mine in Chile's Atacama Desert collapsed. trapping 33 workers over 2,000 feet underground. This true event was brought to life, and it featured big-time names like Antonio Banderas, Rodrigo Santoro, and Juliette Binoche. Now, I'm not one for spoiler alerts, but critics agree that this film is a little less tense than the true event of Everest, the true story of an expedition where a bunch of people succumb to an avalanche, but you will definitely need a Kleenex for the 33. If you're looking to heat things up, The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2 might do the job. Part 2 now brings the series to its 4th chapter, in which Katniss Everdeen, played by Jennifer Lawrence, realizes that she must fight for her future.
All those debts, they mean something.
Tonight.
Well, that's it for today's news and entertainment. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Daniel. We now know that we want to tell you a story of Mason of Warren. He's a 27-year-old business school graduate who quit his Wall Street job to open a pizza shop. Even though many people think it seems like an anticlimactic after a great career, Mason is simply trying to achieve a different sort of greatness with his pizza shop. Rosa's Fresh Pizza in the center of Philadelphia. With more than on the story, here's Wan Jun.
In the past 1 year, the shop used a pay-it-forward system. Customers who walk in to buy pizza can also sponsor a slice for a homeless person for additional $1. In this way, about 30 to 40 homeless people are able to eat for free at Rosa's every day. Post-it notes are covering the wall inside the shop with the word of the encouragement from the customers.
Oh, just yesterday there was a guy that came in. He'd been homeless for like 8 months, and I hadn't seen him for like 3 months. And I'm like, yo, where you been at? He's like, yeah, I'm working now. Figured I'd buy a slice for someone else. I was like, that was awesome.
People who have lost job and home do not need mercy or charity, but they need a sense of encouragement of rebuild their confidence instead. Mason gives what they really need by these kind helping hands and mind. In my opinion, the meaning of richness is not only about money, but a generous and kind mind. I am Mingwan, and that is just my opinion.
Well, thanks, Juan, for that look at human kindness. I found another story that makes you have faith in humanity and people. It's a music and art tour, but almost all the stops were at specific venues with unusual intentions. I looked into the story. This traveling group of musicians played their feel-good music at this San Francisco gathering. It was a stop to play for some friends and raise some money during a music tour with a bigger mission.
So we discovered that through the process of music and art, there's a healing and there's an openness and a freedom. And that's part of what the Goodness Tour is about. It's opening their hearts and their minds.
Each stop on the Goodness Tour includes music, storytelling, painting, even open discussion, all of it involving the audience. Well, the guys with the Goodness Tour are not claiming that music can heal something like my fractured hand, but how does their music help raise the emotional health of their audiences? The Goodness Tour is all about feeling the fun and connecting, and while this show is for friends, they usually play free concerts for very different types of audiences.
We principally go to places like homeless shelters, tent cities, cancer research centers, hospitals for children, detention centers for kids, anywhere there where people can't necessarily go out and see a live show or can't afford to see a live show. We bring it to them, we bring the art to them, and through that we bring a form of therapy where we open them up and really try for them to see their potential and their dreams.
Like at this San Francisco homeless shelter.
This music brought me back and it opened my soul and it made me feel who I am. It's the expression that you give out, that you take in from you guys.
Tour videographer Glenn Shackley captured a moment at a show in Southern California where they helped a mentally disabled audience member that wanted to sing with the band.
We gave him the microphone and he had a great time.
The Care Center staff was ecstatic at seeing their patients in such high spirits.
After almost 2 years, I have never seen such animated
behavior from them. I mean, I worked with a couple of these guys for almost 2 years, and they've never said a word, and they were out there singing. And feeling that music, it brought tears to my eyes. I mean, it was absolutely amazing.
In San Francisco, I'm Nathan Goodall, reporting for the Academy of Art University's K-Art News. This year's Goodness Tour ended in San Diego, but you can go to thegoodnesstour.com to see more of what they did and to get news of next year's plans.
And that's a wrap it up for this edition of Academy of Art University's K-Art News. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Kana Field.
And I'm Nathan Goodall. See you back here tomorrow.